Hello Commanders, welcome back to another Elite Dangerous livestream with Commander Shinakuma. Now tonight I wasn't planning on live streaming at all. I was just collecting up some engineering materials for my new project for something a little bit fun that I'm doing. And I came across this. Industry needs 1,944 units of insulating membrane and they're going to pay me 50 million credits. Now the only reason I'm putting this on is because I've seen on the forums, Facebook groups, Discords, and many places that 50 million missions have been removed from the game entirely. You can't get them anymore. And I'll be honest, I kind of believe that. I also didn't think that they were there because I haven't seen any for a long time. But here they are. You can see it clear as day. They are still in the game. And me being me and a greedy credit gatherer, I'm going to accept that. And I've got 23 hours to do it, so there's no rush. I can carry on collecting materials for my new secret project. I need bioconductors, and then I also need some improvised components. So I haven't put the chat on. Just going to power this up. Yeah, like I say, there's a whole lot of people saying that they're not in the game at all, full stop, and I believe them because I haven't seen one for a long time. But there it is, clear as day. But that's not what I'm doing today. Today I am earning myself some engineering. Well, I need biotech conductors, but there's just 2 there. I like it if I could get a few more than 2. I'm not delivering that, that's going to take too long. I'm not prepared to run that much cargo. So it's not going to be an exciting video this evening. The main reason I've recorded it is because I saw that 50 million one. And it's just good to know that they're still in the game. I'm not mining for biotech conductors, it can piss off. Industry needs... no, I don't give a shit. Oh, Spec Ops contract. You're going to give me 10 million and 5 biotech conductors, probably for killing someone. Let's have a look. We need a skilled pilot to perform some wet work. We'll give you more details when you reach this system. Yeah, I'll accept that. So I'm going to drop off these 2 items first, and then we'll break out the big guns, the Sulaco, and we'll go and kill whoever they need killing. Now I'm running these missions out. You just need to get allied with the factions, ideally a high-tech economy, and you're generally going to find some good stuff. So I need 77 biotech conductors. I've managed to collect 54 so far, so I'm not far from my goal. Come on, let me out. Has it crashed? Oh no, it's just being weird. What am I engineering? I am engineering a new top secret project. It's just a bit of fun. It's not game breaking. It's not going to revolutionise the game. It's just something to ass about with and make a fool of myself with. But I'm not going to. Why the hell won't it let me launch? That is odd. You can probably hear on the mic. Pressing that button but it's not letting me out. I think it's crashed. Oh well. I figured that might happen. So there might be a bit of gathering going on. So whilst 50 million credits is a fantastic one-off payout, you're absolutely right. If you're spending 3 hours jumping about trying to find them, it's a false economy. I might have shot myself in the foot, but who knows? Who knows?
Disengage from landing pad. Exit the station quickly and safely.
Yep. First thing I'm going to do is deliver these 2 sensitive supply missions here. Both of these are paying out on biotech conductors, which is what I'm after. Then I'm going to run the Spec Ops contract. That's 10 million credits, if I were to take the credits, of course. Less so if I take the bioconductors, which I will be doing. And we'll undoubtedly shoehorn in a bit of combat as well. Just because it's something different to do. This week I have been looking all over for consistently good ways to make credits, and the pickings are slim at the moment, Commanders. There is the stuff that we already know about, so we've got the VIP missions in Robigo. We have got the non-meta alloy items flying out of Darnell's Progress. So although meta alloys are gone, you can still make at least 100 million an hour by flying gold, silver and other high value items out of Darnell's Progress. There's the source and return missions from a system called Arrow Nega. I've got a video on that in my back catalogue. And then there's a few other bits and bobs kicking about, still to be tested. But there's nothing awesome in the game at the moment until someone finds something weird or obscure. I think I've visited about 50 systems, spent hours and hours getting allied with various factions, only to find the same non-consistent money-making methods. So you load up a load of passengers to somewhere, you'll make 70 million credits out of it, you'll think that's awesome, you'll come back and those missions just won't spawn again. I think FDev are getting way better at randomizing the missions available. They're not perfect yet. There are of course the ones that we've mentioned before, but it's getting harder and harder. But that's not important tonight. Tonight we are shopping for, what am I going to call the ship? The space cannon, maybe? I've not really thought about that yet.
Sierra Hotel, India. Be aware, weapon fire restrictions are in place in this sector. Permission authorized. Assigned to landing pad 2-4. Clear for automated approach.
If I need 77 biotech conductors, I've got 54. I'll have 9 after this. It's getting close. And then I need improvised components, and that means some quality gameplay time by flying, looking for high-grade emissions, which is a pain in the ass.
3,000 meters from touchdown.
Yeah, missions are funny at the moment. It's strange that the assassination missions, the wing assassination missions, used to run between 5 and 9 million credits, and the solo assassination missions would run between 1 and 4 million. And now they seem to have swapped around, so now you get paid less for the harder missions in a wing, which is odd. I cannot explain why they would do that. I don't think they've done it on purpose. I think that's a mistake that they haven't found yet. I think when they nerfed wing trade missions, they accidentally nerfed wing assassination missions, which is not so clever.
Touchdown. Deploying ground services.
This station operates a zero-tolerance policy.
Landing coupler disengaged. Clear for departure.
I always forget when moving up to the mail slot on this one that it drifts so badly and you end up in the roof rather than at the mail slot. And with a 16 million credit rebuy because you weren't paying attention to start with. What's the best way to get credits at the moment, or is nothing really worth doing? No, there absolutely is good credit making methods at the moment. There's just no ultra credit making methods at the moment. So, as I said before, down at Maya, meta alloys have been nerfed, although they might come back because the system is now currently in civil war, so you won't find those, but there are still some decent delivering gold and silver missions. They range between 9 and 27 million apiece. It's one jump. So if you're willing to do a bit of board hopping, you can still easily make 100 million credits out of Maya. There are the Rubigo VIP passenger missions again. They're, depending on the jump range of your ship, you can make about 30 million credits every 15 to 20 minutes. Sothis and Seos, you can make between 70 and 80 million per hour out of there. So that's still good money. You know, it's 3 hours doing that and you've bought yourself an Anaconda, a Python that's A-rated. So there's plenty out there. There's just nothing in the 300 million range as there was a couple of weeks ago. But if there is, I'll find it and I'll let you know. Oh Jesus Christ, 37 fucking thousand light seconds. What an absolute ball ache. I did not pay attention to that. Oh well. Control pad down. Absolutely hate it when you accept a mission and you don't check the distance to the station and it's massive. Evening to everyone that's just joined. Some quality gameplay here for you. Flying towards the furthest away station ever to pick up some biotech conductors to engineer my new top secret ship, the Space Cannon, with a comedy loadout. It's not going to be something I would recommend anyone spends serious amount of time reproducing unless it's awesome, in which case do it. But it's just a bit of fun because I don't have anything better to do. I think on Sunday, depending on how things go, I might run another credit giveaway. So this will be another instance of stacking up a load of wing missions, completing them by myself to absorb the cost, and then sharing out the credits to 3 lucky commanders. I'll easily manage to get at least 100 million, which again, if you're new to the game, is going to net you a decent a Python, perhaps even a Type 7 for you to make your way into the game. But that's not confirmed yet, because I've got quite a lot on Saturday, not so much on Sunday. I'm going to check EDDB to see what the dealer with these insulating membranes. Have I screwed myself in the ass by accepting that mission? Probably, if I'm honest. What the hell is an insulating membrane? What would it fall under? Industrial materials. Planetary, I'd prefer not. I want to buy them from a large landing pad, and I don't know, just pretend I'm in rear because I can spell that easily. Right, so considering I need 1,944. There are 500 in Wagner's statement, another 500 next door, another 500 next door. So I'm going to need to visit at least 4 stations to get everything I need. That's not the end of the world. I've done worse. It's probably about an hour's worth of flying in that. So 50 million for an hour, notwithstanding the 10,000 credit each. So I'm paying about 10 million for my stock. So it's about a 40 million for an hour's worth of work. It's not the best deal I've ever seen, but I've taken it now, and I can't be asked to lose reputation by abandoning it. So. I don't know if I can be bothered to do it. It's only a reputation plus. I wouldn't even fall down past. I wouldn't even fall past Allied if I just ditched that. I'm sure the space station is going backwards further away from me. wonder, with this outpost being so far out, if there's anything other decent that comes here or goes from here. So we'll find out. See if I can do one of my famous worst planetary landings ever. Come on, brakes, you useless piece of shit. So the wing cargo payouts have gone from 50 million a pop to about 9 million a pop. So it's ironically you can earn solo wing cargo missions now. They're you can earn more on the solo missions than you can on the wing ones. Who knows what goes through the mind of an FDev?
Landing gear deployed. High integrity compromised.
Landing successful. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
Hull repaired.
Right, well I've never been to this station before, so let's see what they've got to offer. First we'll get our biotech conductors. Thank you. So skimmer missions, no. Massacre, no. Assassination. Nope. Nothing decent there. Bog standard dead end system it looks like. Nothing. Absolutely nothing of value at this station. Just check the passenger missions, see if they go anywhere good. No, they're all going to different places, so you couldn't even stack anything decent, so I'm not that bothered. That's right. Here we come. Finally we'll get to watch something interesting in a moment. So next we're going to complete that Spec Ops contract, which means getting this Sulaco out. So that was a fun ship to fly. And I think you guys will be seeing it for the first time. It's not something that I've really gotten out on a live stream before, but it's in my opinion, one of the most powerful PvE ships in the whole game.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop complete.
Don't have anything, do I? That's the ship I'm looking for, the one with the big hull. Yes, with my empty cargo bay, you complete twat.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
This guy here in this anaconda's got quite a hard one for me. He keeps chasing after me. Uh-huh.
Kutamaya, Sierra Hotel, India. Please submit a standard docking request before attempting to land. Access authorized. Cleared for landing on pad 39er. You are approved for automated docking.
Yeah, I like escaping interdictions when the game glitches out and gives me a break. Considering I kept getting, the game must have thought my cargo hold was full because I kept getting the stupid big haul standard greeting. I bet he doesn't try and interdict me in a minute.
Landing gear deployed.
Confirmed contact. Perform landing checklist. Greetings, Commander.
$100 million farm, you can still earn $100 million down in Maya. not, of course, with meta alloys anymore. With standard cargo runs, you get gold, silver, and other precious items. Robigo, VIP passenger missions, and Sothis passenger missions. Theos passenger missions to Sothis can pay about 100 million an hour. As well as finding the right type of source and return cargo missions, like the one I have sat waiting to be done here. As you can see, 50 million for that much, whatever the hell that is. But right now, we are going to kick some ass in this Corvette. It's my very favouriteest ship in the whole world. As you can see here, stats are shield health is 4,000, 60% kinetic, 50% thermal, and 70% explosive resistance. And if one were to make it through that, you would need to get through 5,197 of my hull and a shitload of armor as well. And you will see what this monster does to enemy ships.
Frameshift drive charging. Clear of the station. This is traffic operations. Signing off.
It's not a bad payout on this one either. Spec Ops contract for 10 million. Let's see what they actually want me to do.
Incoming mission critical message.
You want me to kill 48 civilians? Fucking hell, that's a bit harsh. Okay. I really want bioconductors. Nav beacon. Yeah, it's going to make me unpleasant with the locals. Can I be asked to kill 48 civilian ships when I could just do delivery missions?
Scan detected.
Yeah, they are indeed.
Incoming mission critical message. Scan detected.
Your targets have been located. We trace them to a target body listed below. System authority response. You want me to go to AB5?
Scan detected. Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is not messed up about Elite Dangerous? Some of it's still fun. You know, earning credits is always going to be the number one thing in the current economy. So anything that makes that more difficult than it needs to be, especially when you've seen large-scale money grinds, large-scale money-making methods in the past. Seemingly, I'm not entirely sure what they want. There's not even a mission marker next to AB5. I'm not sure. But let's go there. See if it flags me up a point of interest. Mission objective detected or similar. Blow it up. See what happens. Yeah. All I really give a shit about are the biotech conductors, but I can earn 5, but just by I can earn 5 just by delivering cargo. So this seems a bit of a chore, especially when you're trying to do it in a relative rush, not a super rush. Material 62, so I'm 15 away from my target. What was further down? Sorry, did I miss something? Oh, I think what you may have seen is this Shinrata Desra, where I've got a source and return mission going back to there. The actual mission itself, as you can see here, says that my target is LFT 926 AB5, which is currently where we're going. Hoping a point of interest pops up here and gives me a ship with a big destroy me message next to it pops up, because if it doesn't, I'm not overly sure what it wants me to do. We'll figure it out. It's only a mission, it can't be that hard. Come on. Where's my target? There are no ships to even select.
Mission objective detected.
Oh, there you go. Time to rock and roll. Make some enemies. To kill 48 of these, Jesus. Seven out of 48. You're having a fucking laugh.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, I'm not. They can stick it. It ain't worth that. Right, let's can it. And go and clear this annoying bloody bounty. Where is it? Is it this one? Yep, there it is.
Frameshift drive charging.
Nice little interstellar factor on my doorstep, just to clear any unwanted attention off my ship. So, Federation rank. There's a few places where you can make some real easy stuff. The most famous, as you've already said, is Sothis and Ceos. The next one is I'm sure it's a place called Nui Hissing, spelt NIU space HISSING. That is in a little triangle of planets where there are 4 or 5 Federation mission givers, and if you can find it in Boom, you basically ferry Boom data missions between the 3 of them. So whilst Sothis and Ceos is a great place, there is only one mission giver for Federation. Skinny Bro, that's Empire. Shit, yeah. Couldn't remember off the top of my head what it was. But yeah, I think you're right, it might be Empire. Tun. A system called Tun, just TUN. We featured that in the previous video. That has got a whole lot of Federation mission givers. Again, if you can catch that in Boom, you can do a whole lot of data delivery missions to the same shit. Not paying attention to docking, reading chat.
Scan detected.
Unable to comply.
Come on, let me in.
Permission authorized. Clear to land on pad 40.
Must stop soon, otherwise end bad. Power into shields. Hi.
Touchdown.
Landing gear deployed.
Hello Soul Brothers Gaming, thank you for joining this evening. As the description says, we're fishing out some engineering materials today, specifically biotech conductors, and we are just about to go on the hunt for some improvised components. Right, so all them annoying flipping bounties have gone. Restock, restock. We've just ditched the worst mission ever. They can shove that up their arse. And although this is a 50 million supply and return, I'm gonna ditch it because I don't want to do it.
Incoming message.
Yeah, whatever.
Ship released. Follow the greens on your way out.
Right, so I have just ditched the 50 million supply and return mission. Realistically speaking, it would have taken me about an hour to complete it. the materials would have cost about 10 million, if not slightly more. So realistically speaking, it was a 40 million credit mission, and it's not what I'm doing this evening. I was just greedy, I saw it and I took it. Yeah, thankfully material grinds for frameshift drives are quite easy. Arsenic, well, just find a planet that's got polonium, and you can trade polonium for, I believe it's 37 arsenic for every 1 polonium, so that's it's going to save you a lot of time. I've done many videos on where to find data. It's called Ultimate Guide to Engineering Data, and then what else do you need? Chemical manipulators, which you get from pharmaceutical isolators, which again is in one of my videos with the title Ultimate Guide to Engineering Materials. Basically, you're going to do what we're doing in a minute, but in a specific system, not the one that we'll be using. Where is it? There it is. Yep, Dab's Hope, absolutely. You can definitely get them from there, but I prefer to hunt out pharmaceutical isolators from high-grade emission sources, simply because I'm guaranteed to get at least 10 pharmaceutical isolators in about 15-20 minutes worth of searching, and that equates to about 6, 12, 18, 24, 36, 48 chemical manipulators. Slightly more efficient than Dab's Hope, but just as effective. And joining us this evening for this materials grind. Taken a few days off the credit grind. I've kind of burnt myself out a little bit, which is frustrating because FDev have done a fairly good job of nerfing now. Oh yeah, famine system for data mine wake exception. Although it's worth mentioning that when you're looking for your famine system, find the one with the highest population, because not all famine systems are the same. So a famine system with a population below 1 million will have a distribution centre, but the frequency in which ships visit the distribution centre will be really low. You can be looking at between 1 and 3 minutes before the next cycle of ships jump in. If you can find a famine system with a population over 10 million, ideally a billion, there's basically a never-ending stream of ships jumping in. You physically can't scan them fast enough, thus giving you a higher chance of getting data mine wake exceptions rather than waiting 3 to 4 minutes between ships jumping in. Because I have seen plenty of posts on all sorts of social media saying, oh my god, I've been sat here for like 2 hours and there's only been 6 or 7 ships. Yep, that's because you're in a famine system with a population of 10,000, mate. Right, land the big beast. We're done with her for this evening.
Please comply.
Landing gear deployed.
Best the only non-SRV way to get magnesium is mining, and mining, as you well know, is completely random. There's no guarantee of anything with mining. Right, where is my collecting ship? Here you are. I won't need any more than 10. I can synthesize more if I do. Right, now we need. First of all, we need the light on because I can't see my keyboard, it's too dark. We need a system in civil unrest with the highest population we can find. So, state, civil unrest. Find. Highest population is Gateway with 4 billion. Gateway. That's the name of the station from Aliens. There it is. Civil unrest. 400 million. It's going to be a fantastic way to find improvised components. When I'm not streaming and I'm just playing for my own pleasure, this is the ship I spend most time in, bar none. Absolutely love this one. I've been here before. Anyway, so there are many conflicting views on the best way to find high-grade emissions. The method I use has served me really well for the last year since it came out on PlayStation 4, and it is as follows. We are going to fly precisely 100,000 light seconds from the main star, After we've done that, we're going to drop to 100C, and we're going to look for high-grade emissions spawning. That has never failed for me, ever. There are commanders that say that's not the right way to do it. There are better ways to do it. There are faster ways to do it. They may be right. Everyone has their own special thing. This works for me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's not the most enthralling gameplay ever, but it's the most efficient gameplay, so it works really well. And as you can see from my grade 5 material stores, you know, I must be doing something right because I got plenty of them, on top of the fact that nearly all of my ships are engineered to the max, so must be doing something right. Those and those. So, to those joining us on Sunday, I am considering doing another 100 million credit giveaway for any commanders that are currently struggling to make credits in the game or are currently flying a very expensive ship without rebuy. I'm not sure exactly what time I'm going to do it. I've got a busy weekend upcoming, but I'll try and make it Sunday evening. And so if you're a commander, you're either new to the game or you don't play that much, so you don't have the time to grind out credits. For 3 lucky commanders, there will be at least 100 million credits up for grabs. So make sure to join me. If you're on PlayStation 4, of course. I don't currently own Elite for Xbox or PC, unfortunately. So that's on the table if you want to take advantage. Reason I'm heading for the center of the galaxy is you always know you're heading in the same direction furthest away from the star. Just gives you a reference point to aim for. So those of you watching in the chat, is there anything that in future videos you would like to see, be it engineering, combat, PvP, ship builds, that sparks your interest that other YouTubers haven't covered? Now is your opportunity to get a request in. I've done most things in game, so I should have a working knowledge of it if you're interested. Engineering from square one. Yeah, fair play. Bit difficult for me to do that because I've got rank with all of the engineers in game, and Down to Earth Astronomy has got some fantastic videos on how to unlock each individual engineering. Those videos are pretty accurate. so there's no point in me filming them again when they exist already. In terms of where to find the stuff for engineering, I've got two fantastic videos. You can look on my video library. They're called Ultimate Engineering Ultimate Guides. One is for materials both manufactured and raw, and the other one is for data. They detail exactly where to find everything in game. You shouldn't dread it. It's not overly scary. Biggest pain in the ass is engineer requests. So you gain access to the engineer, you fill their requirement, and then they want some random ass cigars from the arse end of the galaxy, and it's, I'm not going to lie, it's a ball ache, because they want 60 but you can only buy 7 at a time, and it's a pain in the ass. But thankfully it's a pain in the ass you only have to do once. It's not the way I would have designed it if I worked for Frontier, but alas, I don't. Right, so we are now at 100,000 light years from the main star. So we're going to throttle back to somewhere in the range of 100C. Doesn't need to be exact. Yeah, and now we are going to wait for high-grade emissions to pop up. High-grade emissions at this distance from the star should yield us the material that we're looking for, which is improvised components. Yeah, Celine Jean. Degraded emissions, no, shove it up their ass. Celine Jean is a pain. There is a video by someone called Commander Rusty Dog, documents how to most efficiently do that, and I'll be honest, it's the video that I watched when I unlocked Celine Jean. Basically, you get an anaconda, you go to the system in the video, mine the shit out of everything, because it doesn't matter what you mine, you just need to mine and refine 500 tons of anything. I managed to do it in 2 evenings with 2 3-hour play sessions. Put some music on in the background, put Netflix on if you've got that. It soon goes by. Best credit earning method. If you're relatively new to the game, go into RIA, fly in passenger missions out of RIA to the system port LQ Hydrate. That is great for beginners. You can earn some serious beginner credits from those, so we're not talking hundreds of millions, we're talking tens of millions. But if you're new to the game, that's going to get you in at least a Python by the end of the day. Once you get in a Python, you can start visiting systems like Maya, Sothis, Ceos, and then you can start really raking the credits in. But I would start out in RIA, RHEA, flying passenger and cargo missions. It's a fantastic beginner system for making stuff. Yep, brilliant. Come on, where are these bloody... Have I missed these emissions because I've been bloody chattering shit in chat? Now you may ask, why am I spinning round and round and round? The answer is, and in my opinion, I have no fact to base this on, the signal sources spawn into the game based on the distance currently travelled since the last one. So by spinning round and round and round, you're increasing the distance you travelled, and therefore get these signal sources to pop up more often. But typically, because I'm streaming, no, Maya is not dead. Maya a few weeks ago there was a method discovered where you could fly meta alloys out of Maya, and those made stupid amounts of credits. I did a stream where I earned 340 million credits in less than an hour. But those type of missions are not supposed to be in the game. That's not what FDev had in mind. So of course they got nerfed. But you can still earn a steady 100 million an hour out of Maya by ferrying gold, silver and other missions out of there. So thought the asp was made obsolete by the crate. Absolutely not. I absolutely love my my asp. It's maneuverable. Its jump range is insane. So crate is a fantastic ship, but you know, I have got on this, I've got a discovery scanner, an SRV bay, a wake scanner, a collector limpet, a recon limpet, a cargo bay, and even with all of that lumped on it, it still jumps 53 light years ago. So obsolete by no means whatsoever. Encoded, piss off, I don't want encoded, I want high grade. The crate is a fantastic ship, but it's not the ship that I choose to fly. This, I can pack all of the equipment I could possibly need, with the exception of combat, onto this ship and still jump 50 light years. If you were to pack the same amount of equipment onto a crate, you're looking at reducing the jump range down to about 28 light years, and well, it's not my cup of tea. I prefer the asp. These emissions are making me out to be a liar this evening, aren't they? We're not gonna spawn anything because you've got 36 people watching and we want you to look like a twat. I'm only messing about. It sounded like a fun song. Yeah, I have a crate. It's got 3 rapid fire advanced plasma accelerators on it, so it's the fire rate on it is insane, and it's backed up by 2 gimbaled beam lasers with thermal vent to sort out the heating issue, overheating when you fire in the plasma cannons. So it kicks some ass in terms of firepower. Oh, this instant is awful for emissions. I'm not getting anything. I might swap instances because it's just not spawning anything. No, ship launch fighters cannot currently be engineered at the moment. Although I think that is on their radar. Of course, if you when Frontier first launched the Guardians tech stuff, depending on how long you've been playing the game, there was a glitch that meant by completing certain missions, by completing certain things, you could get certain blueprints. And as you can see here, these things called Guardian Vessel blueprints. Now, I managed to pick up 27 of them. So at some point in time, there's going to be a Guardian ship. My guess is it's going to be a Guardian fighter, ship launch fighter to fight the Thargoids. Maybe at that time, you might be able to engineer them. And look here, Guardian weapon blueprints, 86. I love that glitch that just gave you as many as you wanted. It's a shame they patched that up so quickly. Right, signal sources, anytime you like. Just put my name on HIP. Yep. I fairly recently, within the last 2 months, I did my first trip to Sagittarius A. Oh, hang on, signal source. Oh, nobody cares about encoded emissions. I don't know, is it in your stats? Pretty sure it is. Don't want encoded emissions, piss off. Right. Let's get stats back up then. Five weeks, 17 hours and 38 minutes. Well, it looks like the game's determined to call me a liar this evening because there's now happening here. Flip it on its head and fly back to the main star. Yeah, probably about 1,000 hours. Come on, high-grade emissions, where are you? Well, if you've ever struggled to find materials, at least you know you're not the only one. And even from someone that claims to be an experienced material hunter, some days you're just shit out of luck. Felicity Farsia is who I would use. She does to grade 5. She does grade 3 engines as well, to be fair. So, and before I went to visit her, I would gather some system scans because you will increase rank with her more if you hadn't, without having to engineer. That's about fucking time. Rather than having to plough through your engineering stuff. So if you haven't already, maybe search out Road to Riches, Elite Dangerous, scan a few, skip out the chaff, just skip to Earthlight Worlds, scan a few with a detailed surface scanner, then go to see Felicity Farsia, and your reputation with her will skyrocket. And the reason that's good is because the more reputation you have with an engineer, the less rolls it takes per grade. So rather than a grade 1 roll take in 5 or 6 rolls, it'll take 1. Right, buy improvised components. Thank you very much. There they are.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Make sure they're not targeted, so
Programming limpet drone.
it's going to go and pick both of those up. So here we are picking up improvised components. If I engineer a module, is that always engineered then? Yes. Well, that particular one. Any new ones you buy won't be.
Not comply. Frameshift drive charging.
Yes, yeah, you can remove a modification from any engineered module if you don't like it, or you can swap it, you can change it. I would love it if FDev would. So you've got your material trader, I'd love it if they introduced a module breaker. So for example, if you were to spend loads and loads of credits engineering a weapon, let's say you bought a multi-cannon, you engineered it with overcharged, you put loads of materials into it, supercapacitors, again they are grade 5 materials, but then decided I really don't like this. Rather than just selling it and getting nothing back, if you took it to a breaker and they broke it down into engineering materials, now you would never get all of your materials back. That's never going to happen, but you get some proportion of the items. Shit, too busy talking, I missed that one. You get some proportion of the materials back that you put into it, so it's not a complete waste. I don't think that's beyond the realms of programming possibilities, but who knows? Who knows what they do? Come on, where are you? Traded. Nope. What time are we on? 10:30 in my world, at least. Probably do it for a bit longer and then call it quits for the evening. Play the one more game. The next time I find a high grade emissions with some improvised components, I will probably call it quits for the evening. I only plan to come on to show people that 50 million source and return missions still exist, despite rumours of their demise. I don't want to drop below 100,000 light seconds, because that reduces the chance further of getting high grade emissions, and I don't really want to do that. Spin it back round and we'll head back this way. I hope no one else is going dizzy, because I bloody am. convoy. No one gives a shit. Yep. Yeah, it's bloody annoying, isn't it? It helps prompt the game to put in signal sources, unfortunately. Let's. Do you know what? I might have a look. Maybe if we visit this one, it'll prompt the game to spawn in something other than flipping these two. Sometimes you can get decent stuff in encoded. Yeah, seriously, blipping the throttle and doing other such items can help spawn. Degrade it. We'll go back to this encoded. Can help spawn signal sources. I don't know why it happens, but it's general consensus across the board that it works. Right, what have we got for me? I don't want any of that, I've got plenty of those. What's it going to give me? Come on, a nice big fat grey 5 data, please. Not.
Incoming message.
Yep. Instead I get a shitty grade 3 frameshift drive scan. Never mind.
Drive charging.
Worse things have happened.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And back to cruising we go. And spinning. And puking. Come on, I want one more high grade emissions before I go to bed. Yeah, so I'll be going to bed about 2 in the morning, yeah. Sounds about right. I would love to drop into a high grade emissions where you've got one of them really big payout ones where you get like 8 improvised components, or you drop in and there's just swimming in pharmaceutical isolators. It feels like all your birthdays have come at once. Try blipping the throttle a bit. Take 5 at the moment. Now, under normal circumstances, I would just abandon this system and choose a different one, because for whatever reason the random number generator element of the background simulation in this system is just being an absolute dick and is not coughing up any high grade emissions. But I really can't be asked to fly to another system and go 100,000 light seconds from the main star again. I'd just take my chances here. I'm not getting any signal sources at all of any description. Right, I'm going to make one more loop back to the main star. Once we get to 100,000 light seconds, I am going to call it. Yep. It's a crazy system. That'll be that vulture we saw earlier, pirating somebody. Distress call. They are. I've always found that distress calls are from ships that are out of fuel. But does FDev really think that people fly around with fuel transfer limpets as standard? I don't know anyone that does. Just as normal. I would never think I'll equip my ship with a transfer limpet for fuel today in case an NPC needs my help and gives me no reward. That's quite literally never happened. I'm not sure why they bother putting them in the game. really thought it was gonna give me a high grade emissions just as I was reaching my log off point. But no, no other shitty distress call. Smuggling missions, yeah, absolutely. They're still in the game, but they don't pay worth a damn now. Ordinary passenger missions now pay more than smuggling, and with none of the risk. So smuggling is still there. You can still make a fairly decent 40 to 60 million an hour from it. But of course, you have all of the associated risks of being shot down, fined, and other things. Failing the mission if you get scanned. Or you could do simple passenger missions with no prospect of failure and a guaranteed payout. So it's they are there. They're just not profitable. Well, they are, but they're not. There are easier ways to make the same money. Yeah, I think somebody seriously needs to march down to the Frontier office and explain the concept of risk versus reward to them, because at the moment whoever is in charge of the in-game economy, creating missions and resourcing them, doesn't understand it. I have no. I mean, the Frontier offices are in Cambridge, England, which is not a million miles from where I am now. It's a short car journey, so one could argue I could do it myself. I'm not sure I'd make it past the reception desk before they threw me out, if I'm honest. But yeah, it doesn't make too much sense to me either. Right, okay, so we're past the threshold now where there's any prospect of getting high grade emissions. So I am going to call it for this evening here. Thank you everyone who took the time to tune in to this rather uneventful live stream. If anything, it shows that even people who play the game a lot have the same struggles as anyone else. There's no magic system to get you materials. The game's just as frustrating for me as it is for everybody else. Sometimes makes you want to bang your head off a desk. I'm not going to do that because it hurts and I don't like banging my head off desks. But next time I run a stream, I will hopefully have completed the mystery ship, the space cannon. Like I said, it's not a game changer. It's nothing that's going to alter anything. It's just a bit of fun in a ship that a lot of people wouldn't be crazy enough to build and spend time engineering, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But for this evening, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will catch you in my next live stream, which is going to be on Sunday. And on Sunday I will be running another one of my 100 million credit giveaways, where 3 lucky commanders from PlayStation 4, because that's what I play Elite on, are going to bag themselves 100 million credits for showing up and watching the live stream. I'll catch you all next time. Oh god damn it, high grade emissions, look. Mother fucker. Okay, I'm going to collect this, and then I'm really going. As said by a million elite commanders before me. Yep, it's definitely the last one. It's definitely the last one. 5 hours later.
Cargo scoop deployed.